This conference will now be recorded.
So both structured data lo alage unstructured data lo ఉంటుంది. Okay, so classification వచ్చేసి మనకి supervised learning. సో క్లాసిఫికేషన్ అల్గోరిథం మనం సూపర్వైజ్డ్ లెర్నింగ్ అంటాము. క్లస్టరింగ్ అల్గోరిథం ని సో అన్సూపర్వైజ్డ్ లెర్నింగ్. సో ఇక్కడ మనం 2 టైప్స్ ఆఫ్ లెర్నింగ్, అదే సూపర్వైజ్డ్ లెర్నింగ్ ఉంటుంది, 2 టైప్స్ ఆఫ్ మెషిన్ లెర్నింగ్ టైప్స్. సో ఫస్ట్ వన్ సూపర్వైజ్డ్ లెర్నింగ్, సెకండ్ వన్ అన్సూపర్వైజ్డ్ లెర్నింగ్. సో సూపర్వైజ్డ్ లెర్నింగ్ లో మనం క్లాసిఫికేషన్ అల్గోరిథమ్స్ యూస్ చేస్తాము, అన్సూపర్వైజ్డ్ లో క్లస్టరింగ్ అల్గోరిథమ్స్ యూస్ చేస్తాం. ఓకే, సో మన క్లాసిఫికేషన్ అల్గోరిథం లో మనకి సో లేబుల్ డేటా ఉంటుంది. సో ఇక్కడ చూడండి, సో ఇక్కడ మనం నేమ్, మన ఏదైతే ఒక ఫిగర్ ఉందో సో ఆ ఫిగర్ కి మనం నేమ్ మెన్షన్ చేస్తున్నాం. సో డక్కింగ్, సో ఇది ఏంటంటే లేబుల్ డేటా. ఓకే, సో మనకి సపోజ్ మనం ఒక షీట్ తీసుకుంటే సో షీట్ లో మనం కాలమ్స్ ఉంటాయి, రోస్ ఉంటాయి. సో మనం కాలమ్స్ ని లేబుల్స్ అంటాము, సో రోస్ ని డేటా అంటాం. ఓకే, సో మన ఈ సేమ్, సో ఈ డక్ అనేది ఏంటంటే మనకి ఇప్పుడు లేబుల్. ఓకే, అండ్ దెన్ ఏం చేస్తున్నాం, సో మనం ప్రిడిక్ట్ చేస్తున్నాం. సో మన ఇచ్చిన ఫిగర్ అలాగే మన ఇచ్చిన లేబుల్ సో సేమా కదా మనం ప్రిడిక్ట్ చేస్తున్నాం. సో దీన్ని ప్రిడిక్టివ్ మోడల్ అంటాం. సో ఇది ఫిగర్ తీసుకుంటుంది, సో మన ఇచ్చిన నేమ్ ఏంటి, లేబుల్ డేటా. సో సేమ్ మ్యాచ్ అయినాయి కాబట్టి సో మన సూపర్వైజర్ లెర్నింగ్ మ్యాచ్ అవుతుంది. సో అండ్ దెన్ అన్సూపర్వైజర్ లెర్నింగ్ అయితే సో మనకి నో లేబుల్ డేటా, సో లేబుల్ డేటా ఉండదు. సో మన ఫిగర్ ఏదైతే ఉందో ఫిగర్ అండ్ సేమ్ రెండు మ్యాచ్ అవుతున్నది అన్సూపర్వైజ్డ్. సో నో లేబుల్ డేటా అనేది అన్సూపర్వైజ్డ్ లెర్నింగ్, సో లేబుల్ డేటా సూపర్వైజ్డ్ లెర్నింగ్. ఓకే, మా వాయిస్ ఇస్ క్లియర్? ప్లీజ్ రెస్పాండ్.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
ఓకే, సో సూపర్వైజ్డ్ అన్సూపర్వైజ్డ్ క్లియరా? సో సూపర్వైజ్డ్ లో క్లాసిఫికేషన్ అల్గోరిథమ్స్ యూస్ చేస్తాము. సో అల్గోరిథమ్స్ లో లేబుల్ డేటా ఉంటుంది, క్లాసిఫికేషన్ అల్గోరిథం లో లేబుల్ డేటా యూస్ చేస్తాం. ఓకే, అండ్ దెన్ సో అండ్ దెన్ క్లాసిఫికేషన్ వర్సెస్ రిగ్రెషన్. సో ఎస్టర్డే లాస్ట్ 3 days మనం లాస్ట్ 2 days డిస్కస్ చేసిన రిగ్రెషన్ మోడల్స్. సో రిగ్రెషన్ మోడల్స్ ఏంటి, లీనియర్ రిగ్రెషన్, మల్టీ లీనియర్ రిగ్రెషన్, ఇంకోటి ఏంటంటే ఇంకొక రిగ్రెషన్ మోడల్ ఏంటి, సో
Polynomial regression.
ఓకే, సో ఇవి 3 కూడా రిగ్రెషన్ మోడల్స్. సో నౌ వి డిస్కస్ క్లాసిఫికేషన్ మోడల్స్. సో క్లాసిఫికేషన్ మోడల్స్ టోటల్ 5 మోడల్స్ డిస్కస్ చేస్తాము. సో ఫస్ట్ వన్ KNN అల్గోరిథం. KNN one of the type of the classification algorithm, KNN. Okay, KNN means K nearest neighbor. Okay, and then decision tree, and then logistic regression, and then random forest, SVM, support vector machine also. So those 5 algorithms are classification models. Okay, so next three days we discussing classification models. Okay, so classification means సో మనం ఏ ప్రిడిక్ట్ చేస్తుంటే సో పాస్ ఆర్ ఫెయిల్ అండ్ ఎస్ ఆర్ నో, ట్రూ ఆర్ ఫాల్స్. సో మన క్లాసిఫికేషన్ మోడల్ మనకి సో 3 టైప్స్ కింద మనకి డిఫైన్ చేస్తుంది, పాస్ ఆర్ ఫెయిల్ ఆర్ ఇంకొకటి ట్రూ ఆర్ ఫాల్స్ అండ్ ఎస్ ఆర్ నో. సో ఇవి మాత్రమే క్లాసిఫికేషన్ మనకి అవుట్పుట్ అనేది రిప్రజెంట్ చేస్తుంది. ఓకే, రిగ్రెషన్ మోడల్ ఏం చేస్తుంది, పర్సంటేజ్ వస్తుంది. సో రిగ్రెషన్ మోడల్లో మనం పర్సంటేజ్ చూస్తాం. ఓకే, సో ఎగ్జాంపుల్ చూడండి, అందరూ ఎగ్జాంపుల్. సో ఇప్పుడు మనం మెయిల్స్ తీసుకున్నాము. సో మనం మల్టిపుల్ మెయిల్స్ లో స్పామ్ మెయిల్స్ ని సెపరేట్ చేస్తున్నాం. ఓకే, అంటే మనకి సపోజ్ మనం ఇప్పుడు ఎస్ఆర్నో ఎలా తీసుకుంటున్నామో సో మనకి స్పామ్ మెయిల్ అయితేనే మనం ఆ స్పామ్ ఫిల్టర్ చేసుకుంటున్నాం. స్పామ్ మెయిల్స్ ఏదైతున్నాయో సో అవి మాత్రం మనం ఫిల్ చేసుకుంటున్నాము, రిమైనింగ్ వాటిని మనం సో తీసుకోవట్లేదు. ఓకే, సో ఇక్కడ హైలైట్ అయినాయి మనకి స్పామ్ మెయిల్. సో క్లాసిఫికేషన్ అల్గోరిథమ్స్ చెప్పాను కదా.
Sir, your voice is not audible, sir.
Okay, students are has some internet problem. I will continue. In the classification, before starting, is my voice clear and audible to all of you? Please once
Yes,
respond.
ma'am.
We'll continue.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, today we are going to discuss about the classification algorithms. As you already know, there are two types in your supervised learning. One is regression and classification. In your regression, you are having the labels and the label values are of continuous. As far as you have observed in some data sets in linear polynomial regressions, the target values are continuous values. Okay, they are not discrete values. But in the classification, you are having the discrete values, nothing but your data is classified into some groups, and you are also having some labeled data. See, here Sir has already explained the difference between the classification and regression. How do you come to the conclusion that the given data set can come under regression or classification? See, if your labeled data has nothing but if your target has some continuous value. See, in the student profile, for your labeled data, nothing but the target has some percentage. See, percentage is not a fixed value, right? One student has 1%, the other student has the other percentage. It may vary and it can have continuous values, not the fixed value. But if there is a label like this called pass or fail, okay, see, you will be having only two values, nothing but two groups called pass or fail, and you are not having any continuous values here. You are having only two labels or two groups called pass or fail. If your target is in this way, then you can conclude or you can come to one decision that this data set comes under classification, and you can go with the classification algorithms in the machine learning. Okay. What are the classification algorithms for us available here are? One is k-nearest neighbor, logistic regression, decision tree, and you are also having some other algorithms like random forest, SVM. Okay. Today we are going to discuss about this k-nearest neighbors. What is k-nearest neighbors? Let us take one example and understand, and afterwards we will take one data set and work on it. Okay, let me take one example directly from the Google so that you will get some clarity what is k-nearest neighbor. Is my screen visible to all of you? Please respond me in the chat box. See, I am going to take this example. Yes, you can take any other example also that are available. But to give you more clarity, I am taking this example. See, there are the information called weight, height, and there is a label called, our target label is here, class, that you can observe from the image that is displayed here. Okay, you are having some weight 51 and height 167, means it comes under the class called underweight, and you can see all these values. There are some underweight, normal, and those are only two categories we have here. See, there are no continuous values. As you can observe from this table, there are no continuous values here, but there are only two classifications that you can see, that called underweight and normal. By seeing this class, we can come to the conclusion that this is the classification, that means this data set can come under classification in machine learning. And in the classification, we are going to deal with the nearest neighbors. See, and this classification comes under supervised learning. In the supervised learning, we have to first train our model with the previous data. Suppose this is the previous data we have. We have to train the model, nothing but the machine or model with this data. And after training the data, if I give any value, if I give the weight as 57, if I give height as some 170, it have to give me the labeled class that that comes under underweight or normal, right? In the supervised learning, that is the process we are following. You have followed up to now. We have to train the model with the data first, and after training we have to test. Nothing but it have to predict. If we give weight and height, it has to predict that it is normal class or underweight class. Okay. Under which process the KNN works means, see, if I give the other value called 57 and 170. See, 57, 170, if I give, it will find the distance. Okay. How to find the distance? What is the general formula for finding the distance? I think you are from the mathematics background. Students, is my voice audible?
Yes, ma'am.
What is the general distance formula you will use in mathematics? See, if you have any 2 points called x and y, what is the formula that you generally use to find the distance between 2 points? I am asking the formula. Yes, somebody has responded that square root of x2 minus x1 whole square is
equal
Yes, somebody gave me the answers
Yes, ma'am.
here. Yes, if you have any 2 points called x and y, that is the basic formula we use. Okay. Here also see, we have to predict the values here. I have given some 2 values called 55 and 170. By which process it will find out, it will predict the values means, see, it will find out the distance. What is the value I have given? 57. This is other value. 57 is x1. Assume that 57 is x1. 51 is x2, or x2 x1 values. X1 is 51. X2 is the given value I have, that is 57. 57 minus 51 whole square, that 170 minus 167 whole square. See, for every value it will find out the distance, and see, it will find out the distance for every value which is already with the previous data we have given to the model. Okay, let me take the other image so that you will get more clarity. I am not finding that image here. Students, give me 1 minute. I will take the image and display to you. Please give me 1 minute. Okay, sorry for the inconvenience. See, let us take one example here. See, here there are values called x1, y1, 57 and 170. We have to find out the distance. See, if you find out the distance, these are the values we get. What are the nearer values we have here? Nothing but what are the nearer values means what is the less distance we have here, for what values we have, can you tell? See, these are some nearest values, nothing but distance. Lowest distance we have for the values called 1.4, 3 and 2. See, if you find out the distance, taking the two values 57 and 120, these are some nearer values, nearer distance values we got here, 2, 3 and 1.4. See, what does KNN means? As the name suggests that KNN is the K nearest neighbors. By finding out the distance for the two given points to be predicted, these are some nearest values we are getting here, 2, 3, 1.4. For 2, 3, 1.4, what is the class here? Tell me. What is the class here?
Normal.
Normal. See, for the nearest values, as the class is normal, it will predict you. Nothing but if you ask what is the class for 57 and 170 weight and height, it will predict you as normal by finding out the distance, and by finding out the distance, what are the nearest values it have? These three values. By these three values, we can say the K value as 3, as these are very nearer to the values. See, 57 and 170 is nearer to, you can see, this 57 is nearer to some 58, 57, 55. And 170 is some nearer to 169, 173 and 170. These are some nearer values, right? Based on these nearer values, see, we are having the class called normal. By this, it will predict that it may be class normal which has weight 57 and 170. And let me tell you the other example also. See, if I give any flavor to you, let me take some iris flavor here. See, this is some iris flavor. If you give this flavor, okay, this flavor may be of different types, okay. This length, see, you have some petals and sepals for your flavor, right? You know already. See, based on this petal length and sepal length, you can describe that this flavor comes under the iris species. Okay, your iris flavor has 3 types. General గా మనకి ఒక మీరు ఫ్లవర్స్ లో చూస్తే ఒక ఫ్లేవరే చాలా టైప్స్ ఉంటుంది. ఫర్ సపోజ్ మీరు జాస్మిన్ చూసారనుకోండి, ఓకే, ఒక ఫ్లేవర్ లోనే మీకు టైప్స్ ఉంటాయి. రోజెస్ చూసారు, రోజెస్ లోనే మీకు చాలా టైప్స్ ఉంటాయి కదా. ఓకే, అది ఎలా తెలుస్తుంది మీకు? మామూలుగా మనం చిన్నప్పటి నుంచి ఈ ఫ్లేవర్ ఇలా ఆ ఫ్లవర్ పెటల్స్ ఇలా ఇంత లాంగ్ లో ఉంటే ఇది ఈ రోజు, లేకపోతే ఇంత లాంగ్ లో ఉంటే ఇది ఈ రోజు అని మనం ఐడెంటిఫై చేస్తున్నాం. అంటే ఏంటి, మనం చిన్నప్పటి నుంచి ఆ ఫ్లవర్స్ ని చూస్తూ ఇది ఇలా ఉంటుంది, అది ఇలా ఉంటుంది అని మనం ఐడెంటిఫై చేసి ఒక కంక్లూజన్ కి వస్తున్నాం. ఇది రోజే, కాకపోతే రోజు ఇది ఒక టైప్, లేకపోతే ఇది ఒక టైప్ అని. ఓకే, అది మనం దట్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ కెన్ కమ్ యువర్ క్లాసిఫికేషన్. ఓకే, yes, somebody is asking me more examples. Wait, I will give you. Have you got the clarity what I have told using one distance? See, have you understood this one? Please tell me that first. Have you understood this one? No. Okay, I will
Yes,
tell
ma'am.
you one general. Okay, I will tell you one general example. See, you maybe observed the different types of roses. Have you observed? Please tell me that first. See, we have different kinds of rose, different types of roses, right? Yes. By what identification you will say that this is this type of rose and that rose is that type? How do you classify the roses? See, by from the childhood, yes, by the color you will observe, and you are having that rose has some characteristics, some features, right? See, we are having some different types of roses based on the size, yes, based on the color, and based on the observations from the childhood, you will classify them that this is this flavor and this is this flavor. Yes or no? Already you have seen one rose flavor and you have observed some characteristics. Okay, if I give any flavor, okay, if I give any flavor, you will compare that what you have observed earlier and you will confirm that this is some rose which is this type. Yes or no? That's what the Cadence works. See here, we are having some data, nothing but this weight and height. We are having some data already, nothing but you have already observed some different types of roses. Okay, your mind has trained with the different types of roses. Likewise, you are having some data called weight and height here. Okay, we have trained our brain with different types of roses, and if I give any type of rose to you, you will compare with the information that you have already in your brain that this flavor, this type of this rose may be this type. By comparing yourself, by comparing with the previous data or information with you, you will tell that this is this type of rose. Yes or no? Please respond in the chat box. Yes. Same example I am taking, instead of roses, I am taking some weight and height here. See, we are training the model with some weight and height here, and it has to predict. If I give any two values called weight and height, it has to predict the class called underweight or normal. As these are only two values here, two discrete values, this comes under classification. And how do you, what is k nearest values? We have to find out the nearest features, nothing but the nearest features we have to find. And if we find any nearest features that we have already observed or that we have already in the brain, we will tell that this is this type of rose. Based on that only, see, I will find the distance between these 2 points. See, with the given x and y values, I will find the distance with all the previous data. Okay, with all the previous data, I will find out the distance. What is the nearest distance? Nothing but if I give any rows, you will observe that the nearest features, right? If మీకు ఒక రోజు ఇస్తే ఆ రోజు అంతకు ముందు మీరు అబ్జర్వ్ చేసిన దానికి ఈక్వల్ గా కొంచెం నియరర్ గా ఉంటే ఇది ఈ టైప్ రోజు అని చెప్తారు కదా. అలాగే ఇక్కడ డిస్టెన్స్ అనేది నియరర్ గా ఉంటే ఓకే. ఇప్పుడు ఏంటి 57 అది దేనికి నియరర్ గా ఉంది? నార్మల్ గా 58, 57, 55. ఓకే. అంటే మనం డిస్టెన్స్ నియరర్ గా ఉంది, ఈ క్యారెక్టరిస్టిక్స్ కొంచెం ఇది ఈక్వల్ అవుతుంది. దిస్ ఈస్ ఈక్వల్ టు సమ్ డిస్టెన్స్ హియర్. ఓకే. Then we can say that this can be of normal. See, I will tell you one example, taking one corona example. See, what are the symptoms of corona? Please tell me. Can you tell? See, previously, if you have high fever, on and off fever, if you have some dry cough, and if you have some body pains, you maybe conclude that you will having typhoid, right? But if you have some typhoid symptoms along with the breathing problem, see, that is nearer to some other disease, okay, that they have predicted that it is corona. See, if you have some nearer characteristics, okay, then we can say that this may be, okay, if you have some dry cough, typhoid symptoms with some breathing problem or something, see, it is nearer to some other symptoms. Okay. Not if you don't have body pains, but you are having on and off high fever. Okay. On and off high fever generally comes when there is a typhoid, right? It is nearer to some symptoms of typhoid. Then we can conclude that this is a typhoid fever. See, if you have some breathing problem, you will be having some symptom, nothing but you may be affected with your lungs, or okay, you may be affected with your lungs. But on and off high fever with breathing problem may also nearer to some disease called corona, right? Nothing but we are finding out the nearest characteristics, and with that nearest characteristics we can conclude the class here, that is called K nearest neighbor. Have you got some clarity what is this K nearest neighbor? Nothing but we will compare the nearest, nothing but the closest characteristics with the previous data, and we will come to the conclusion that this is this type or this is this class. Have you understood or not? Please respond me in the chat box. Nothing but as the name suggests, K nearest neighbors. If it is nearer to the characteristics that we have already trained with the model, it comes to the conclusion. See, what are the nearest distance we have? How many values that are very nearer to the given values here? Can you tell that? How many nearer values we have? See, if distance is less, it is very nearer. By that we can confirm that if distance is very nearer, this value, these characteristics can be normal. We can tell that. Yes or no? Please tell me. See, here we are having some nearer distance called 2, 3 and 1.4. Nothing but how many values, how many nearer values we have here, nearest neighbors that matches to the characteristics? Please tell me. We have 3 values here, nothing but see, we can, it is matching to this characteristics, and it is also matching some to this characteristics, and it is also matching to these characteristics or features. See, it is very nearer to these 3 characteristics, and the output for the 3 characteristics is normal, so that we can conclude for 57, for weight 57 and height 170 also the class can be normal. Okay. By this with this we will conclude, or we will come to the decision that this may be this class or that class. Okay. Let us apply to one data set. See, if it is clear on your side, I can go with the data set. Please tell me, or otherwise I can tell you the other examples. With your response I will continue. Yes, only few students are responding. Why the other students are listening to the class or not? Yes, thank you. Okay, we will. What is the algorithm we are learning now? KNN algorithm. Yes. So, if you have any doubts regarding this KNN, you will get some clarity after working with the dataset. Okay. Let us do with one dataset, and you know already what is marked on all that. I need not explain all again. Yes. For the KNN algorithm, I want to take the dataset called IRIS. Okay. In the IRIS dataset, if you want to load that dataset, what is the general syntax? If you want to take any file, you will use some pandas library and you will load that using some method called read underscore CSV if it is a CSV file. So I am not, I want to take the inbuilt dataset which is present in my sklearn library. Okay, for that I am importing from sklearn import load underscore iris is my dataset I want to use now. Okay. Already some predefined datasets are present in the sklearn library. From that library, I am loading the datasets. Yes, if you want to work with the other datasets, you can work with the datasets also to practice. Okay. From sklearn dot datasets. Yes, this is our data set and I'm creating one object for my data set called iris. See, I'm creating an object called iris for the data set. Okay. Now let me print this data set here, or let us see what are the keys present in this data set. If I give iris dot keys, see, in my data set, I am having the information about nothing but the data. These are some keys we have: data, target, target names, description, feature names, and file name. Okay. If you want the description of the dataset that you are going to use, what is the key you have here for the description? You are having some key called DESCR. Let us see that description here. Print iris dot DESCR. Okay, let us see the description now. See, they will give you some description about your data set that you have chosen. See, this is the data set. What are the data set characteristics? See, number of instances are 150 here. What is 150? What do you mean by instance here? See, what do you mean by instance? Nothing but these are the rows that you are having. You are having some 150 rows of data. And see, 50 in each 3 classes they are saying. See, before seeing this description, let us see what are the target we have. Okay. See, I think you know what is target, what are features. Do you know all this terminology or should I need to explain again?
We know, ma'am.
Yes, somebody is asking me to explain again. See, I didn't do nothing here. See, as you are loading the data sets previously with some using pandas method called read underscore CSV. Here today I am taking some default data set from sklearn library. See, your sklearn library is pre-installed in your Jupyter, right? From that we have some data sets, okay, package, and that in that we are importing one data set called load underscore iris. Okay, this data set is already present by default. That is I am loading here. Okay, and I am creating an object, nothing but I am creating a reference variable for my data set here. That is called, what is my reference variable here? Iris. Okay, what are the keys present here? Nothing but your data set has many information. With if you want to know the information, see, these are some keys you have. Data means the numerical value you will get. What is the data present in your data set? Target means what are the targets, target names, and description describes you. It will give the description of your data set, feature names, file name. See, what I think, what are the you know what are the feature names, what are the target names, this terminology. That's what I have told up to now. Yes, I have printed my description here, nothing but to see what is the description of the data set we are taking. I have taken I am just printing the description here. Yes, now again what I am doing, I want to print what are the targets here. See, by seeing the targets, we can come to the conclusion that it is of classification or regression, right? So let us see the target here. Iris dot target. See, what are, can you see, by seeing the target here, can you come to the conclusion that it is regression or classification? See, we are having some discrete values. See, we are having some discrete values called 0, 1, and 2 here. That means how many target values you have here? How many types of target labels we have here? Yes, we have 3 types of target labels called 0, 1, and 2. That means it is of discrete values which comes under classification in supervised learning, right? By seeing this, you can come to that conclusion. Yes, this is the classification, and we can apply any classification algorithm to this data set. Yes, we have seen that. Next, let us again see our data set here called instances. See, what are number of instances means? Number of rows that you have in your data set, and 50 in each of 3 classes means what is the meaning of this? See, you are having total of 150 rows, the data of 150 rows. For each, see, for each label, you are having 3 classes or 3 labels in your target, right? For each target, you are having some 50 rows of information. For 0 label, you are having some 50 rows of information. For 1, you are having 50 rows. For 2, you are having 50 rows. That is what they have described here. Have you understood this meaning called number of instances 150 and 50? In supervised, there are only 0 and 1. Yes, it may have 0 or 1, pass or fail. It may have 0, 1, 2, 3. If you are having only 2 values called 0 or 1 or pass or fail, that can come under binary class. Okay. If you are having more than 2, nothing but if see in this iris data set, we are having more than 2 labels called 0, 1, and 2. Okay. That can be called as the multiple class, multi-class. Generally, we will, if there are greater than 1, you will tell multi-class, right? But in machine learning, if there are labels greater than 2, you can call it as multi-class. Karthik, have you understood? Yes, now what are the number of attributes here? Attributes are nothing but features here. See, 4 numeric, predictive attributes, and class. See, we are having 4 numeric attributes, or see, we are having 4 numeric attributes. What are they? These are attributes are nothing but features. We are having some sepal length, sepal width, petal length, and petal width. See, iris is nothing but the flower name. In the iris flower, we are having 3 different types. Okay. For the 3 different types, they have given some data called sepal length, sepal width, petal length, and petal width. And what are the 3 types here? See, in the iris, we are having the 3 types called setosa, versicolor, and virginica. These are the 3 types of flowers, iris flowers we have. If it is 0, if it comes under 0, that means it is setosa flower. If it is 1, it is versicolor. If it is 2, it is virginica. See, based on the sepal length, the sepal width, petal length, and petal width, we can come to the conclusion that it is setosa, versicolor, or virginica. And without these names, they have labeled as 0, 1, 2. That's it. Okay. And next, and they have given some median values, nothing but average values, correlation values. See, these are some information they have given. Okay. We have seen some description and we have seen the target. Let us see what are the feature names. See, feature names means I have already told what are the feature names.
Okay.
Iris dot feature underscore names. See, you should give the correct spelling which is given in the data set. We should not change that, as you already know. Yes, I have given some mistake. Feature names, I think. Yes, what are the feature names? Nothing but the attributes are called as feature names here. Sepal length, sepal width, petal length, and petal width. These are our features. And you have also, let us see the target names here. See, target is of 0, 1, 2, but there are some names for this target, right? Print iris dot iris dot target names. Okay, iris dot target underscore names. See, what are our target names here? Setosa, versicolor, and virginica, which represent 0, 1, and 2. Okay. Please tell me if it is completed on your end.
Yes, madam.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. And let us continue now. See, now what is our work here? See, print. Okay, let us create one table with the features that we want and with the targets that we want. Okay, let us create a data frame. To create a data frame, what is the library we need? Can you tell that? To create a data frame with our target values and feature values, what is the library we need? Yes, we need pandas here. First, we should import pandas, import pandas as PD. As you can use any other name also. What is the step we are doing here? We are framing our data or we are getting the data here. Okay, we have already imported our data, but we are processing what are the values we want. We are taking the data that we want here. Okay, see, import pandas as PD, and from this, see, I am using other variable called data, and I am creating one data frame. See, to create a data frame, you should use this method called data frame, and you should pass the data. See, what is the data you have here? See, you are having all your data, nothing but your petal length, petal width, sepal width data in this variable called data. Okay. To avoid confusion, let us take this as iris underscore data. See, pd dot data frame of some data here. Okay, what is this data? petal length, petal width, sepal length, and sepal width. That is the data we have here. Okay. Let us print the data. Iris underscore data. Sorry, this belongs to Iris, right? See, we got some values here, some 4 values. But what are these values names? Please tell me what are these values names here? See, by default, they got the values as 0, 1, 2, 3. But what are these names here? Target. What are these values? 5.1, 3.5, 1.4, 0.2 are the values of
Sepal length.
Yes. See, those are yes, those are your feature names, right? In the feature names, you are having those. See, in the feature names, we have already seen what are the feature names here. If you give iris.feature names, you will get all that sepal length, sepal width. Okay, nothing but you have to rename these column names with your feature names. Okay, let us take columns equal to iris dot feature underscore names. See, if you didn't provide any columns here, by default it will take like this. But we are having some feature names, right? I am giving those names. See, all these syntax that you have already learned in Pandas. That is why I am not explaining in detail. See, now you are having some features called sepal length, sepal width, petal length, and petal width. These are our features. Based on these features, but nothing but with these features, we have to train our data. But to train our data in the supervised learning, we should have target also, right? In the supervised learning, we should have also target or labels in order to train our data. Yes or no? Students, please respond.
Wait a minute, ma'am. I am complete.
Yes, okay, complete and tell me if it is completed.
Yes, ma'am.
What about the remaining students? Have you completed or not?
Completed, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let us continue now. Yes, we are having features, but we are not having a target here. To train our data, nothing but to train our model, we need target also in supervised learning. See, let us add the target to our data frame. To add the target here, what is the syntax? To add a column to your data frame, nothing but you should use iris underscore data is our data frame now, right? I am adding a label called target. And where is our target present? In which? Okay, iris dot target. See, if you provide iris dot target here, see, you are getting the target values, right? As we load our data set and given a variable called iris, in the variable called, in the key called target, we are having all these values. With the using this representation only, I am creating a column of target here. And let us check if I got that or not. Iris underscore data. See, we are getting the target column also here. See, if you want to see only the 5 values, you can give like this dot head. That means you will get the first 5 values. Okay. Now our data frame is ready with our features and with the target. Now it's our turn to check if any missing values are there, and if
Ma'am, I am getting key error, ma'am.
key error means you are not giving the key name properly. Check your key names that you have given here. Iris.feature names, iris.target. Okay. That is the mistake you are doing, I think. Yes, now we are ready with our data set. Generally, we will train our data. We will split our data for training and test. Okay, we will split our data into training or testing. Okay, before training and testing, we should identify the algorithm that we are going to use, right? What is the algorithm that now we are going to use here? Please tell me. See, we are learning some KNN algorithm, right? Okay. Now, let us see if there are any missing values, and we will use the algorithm. To see if there are missing values, what is the method we want to use in pandas? Can you tell? Can you tell? Can anybody give me the response to find out the missing values? Yes, is NA. Iris underscore data dot is NA, and I want to find out the sum. If sum is 0, that means there are no missing values in my data. Yes, in the description they have already given that there are no missing values, but to verify we are checking once again. See, as the count is 0 here, that means there are no missing values here, and we can proceed with our data. Okay, what is the next step now? We have to identify an algorithm, nothing but applying the algorithm. See, the algorithm that we are going to use is the KNN. Okay, so the sklearn, we have to import from sklearn dot neighbors import neighbor classifier.
Neighbors spell.
This classifier spelling I have written down. See, neighbor spelling is BORS only. See, this is the classifier that we want to apply for this data set. This is a classification algorithm. See, we need not find out any differences here. See, by applying this algorithm, okay, at the back end it will apply all the calculations that it is going to use in this algorithm. We will not find out any distances here. Okay, but generally by using the K-neighbors classifier, KNN, it will find out the distance and it will find out the nearest ones and it will give the class. Okay, nearest, it will find out the nearest characteristics and based on that it will predict the class. Okay, And see, we have already imported. Let us create a class object here for our algorithm. Okay, for our classifier, let us create an object. See, I have created an object variable called KNN here. See, up to now we have chosen the data set and we have done the processing that you want to do, nothing but we have created a data frame, and from that we have chosen one algorithm and we are continuing with that. Okay, after selection of the algorithm, what is the next step we should do? Please tell me. Yes, we should fit our data into our classifier. Okay, but I need to fit the data, we need to split our data into training and testing. Have you done the splitting of your data for training and testing in the linear regression? Please tell me, in the linear or polynomial regression.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. What is the in sklearn what we should use for that? Plus sklearn, from sklearn dot, see what is the module you have used in this library for train test split?
Model selection.
Yes, model selection. Okay, model underscore selection import train
Test
underscore
split.
test underscore split. Okay, and now we should split our data. See, we are using some variables here. X test. See, before training, testing and splitting, is there anything we need to do? Please tell me. See, I am writing some X, Y here. See, before choosing your classifier, what is the thing you need to do? Or before splitting your data, what should we do? Please tell me. You have missed one point here.
Select our
Classify the
target.
features and target.
Yes, we should select our features and targets before applying to our algorithm. Okay, let us take the features here. X equal to, what are the features we want here? We want all the features based on the sepal length, sepal width, petal length and petal width. I want to predict the target here. Okay, that is why I am taking all the features present in this. To take all the features from this, can you tell me the syntax to extract all these columns here? See, you can do it in many ways. Can anybody tell what is the method or what is the way in Pandas to extract these 4 columns? I want to use these 4 columns as my features. See, why nobody is responding? Okay, let me tell you. See, you can do it in many ways. I am accessing my data frame using some method called ILOC. I think you have learned it in Pandas. Okay. See, ILOC means what is your data present in which variable? See, my data is present in iris underscore data, right? Nothing but my information is present in iris underscore data dot or iris underscore data. See, I am using some ILOC method. ILOC means you should give, the syntax is rows and columns. What are the rows we need here? We need all the rows. How many rows that are present here? We need all the rows. To give all the rows here, simply I am giving some column. I think you know the slicing in Python, right? You know the list slicing, string slicing. You know what is column here. Yes, somebody has given me the answer. Yes, Karthik has given me in the other way. Yes, you can use in that way also. See, if you give column here, nothing but you are accessing all the rows. Okay, and I want the column from, see how many columns you need, from 0 to 0, 1, 2, 3. From 0 to 3. If I give in this way, will I get all the columns that I have selected? Please tell me. See, ILOC is used to access the
No,
values
ma'am.
from your data set. And this is the slicing I am doing here. I think you are very comfortable with the Python. If you know all that, only you can understand this. Yes, you will, if you give 0 to 3, this 3 is excluded here, so that you will get only 0, 1, 2. To include this third column also, we should give 4 here. Yes, if you know the slicing, you may understand this. Yes, let us print this X here, so that to check whether we are accessing correctly or not. See, I am printing X here. See, I am getting, where is it? Yes, I am getting, without the target, I am getting all the values here. Okay, this is one way. You are having many ways to do that. You can just drop the target column and you can access, and you can also access in this way also. Okay, if anybody didn't understand this, accessing these columns, please ask me to repeat. I will repeat again, or otherwise I will continue. And now what is the target for us? Nothing but this column. This column we need. To access that column, nothing but we can do the direct indexing, iris underscore data of target. Okay, nothing but we have given all the features attributes in X, target in Y. Please respond in the chat box that you have understood this accessing of features and target in X and Y.
Yes, ma'am.
See, without your response, I can't continue. Why only Manikand? Why only few students are responding? What are the rest doing? Yes, thank you. Now we are having some features and target in our X and Y. Let us split our data. See, I think you know what is the importance of splitting our data. What is the importance of splitting our data? See, if you give all the data to the training, then we didn't have any data to test. Okay, we need to again gather the data to test, right? For that, we are splitting our data for training and testing. We will split some data for training and we will keep aside some values for testing. Okay, and we have to predict yes or no. For that, we need to train test. For that, I am taking some variables called x underscore train, x underscore test, and y underscore train, and y underscore test. Okay, nothing but in x underscore train, the training values of features, the features which are going to be trained or stored in x underscore train variable. The features which are going to used for testing are stored in x underscore test. The same way follows with y train and y test also. Okay, train underscore test underscore split. This takes three attributes, I think. Okay, what are the three attributes? X comma y, and
Y,
we should use the test size. What is this test size? I am giving 0.3. What is the importance of 0.3 here? Nothing but 0.3 means we are giving 30% of data
Data.
to test. Okay, rest of the 70% will go for training the model. The 30% of data will be present for our testing after training the model. Okay, and see what are the values that we have to send for testing and training. We know that 70% will go for training, 30% will go for testing, but we should give some values, right? I am not giving manually by using this random underscore state. See, by using random underscore state attribute, we can give some random values to testing, 70% of values to testing and training. Okay, so I am randomly giving some value called 42. You may give other value also. Okay, this is a process for splitting the
Testing
data.
means future values, ma'am.
What? Again? Please repeat once again. See what you have
Testing
asked.
means
Please.
test size means future values or present values means which we have known or not known.
Test size means you are telling how much percentage of values are going to the testing. Okay, I have told 30% of value should go for testing. The rest of 70% will go for training. Okay. See, this test and training values are from our data set only. We are not predicting anything here. The values are from this data set only. From this 150 rows, 70% of rows values will go for training the model, and rest of the values will be preserved for our testing. Okay, have you understood now? See here, there are some think that there are some 5 rows here. Okay, if you train the model with these 5 rows, see, we need to check that the model have learned accurately or not. We have to check, right? If model has learned or not, we have to predict. See, if you pass all these values to the training, with which values we should test? There are no values for us if you pass all these values to the training. That is why we are sending some 70% of these values to training, and rest of the values will be preserved for testing. For suppose I have given some random values, nothing but it may take 0th column, 2nd column, 3rd column for training. It will leave 1 and 4th column for testing. After training with these 0, 2 and 3 columns, I need to check that it has trained correctly or not. I need to check with the values left with the testing. What are the rows left with testing here? 1 row we have left with testing first. And to predict, I will give this row values 4.9, 3.0, 1.4, 0.2, and it should predict this value. Nothing but we are testing with these values. Please respond that you have understood or not. Random state means, see, if you give the random
Yes, ma'am.
state. See, somebody is asking me about random state. Random state is a variable. See, if you can give any value. If you give random state, see, I have given this line and I have run this cell. By running this cell, see, for suppose first I have run this cell, it has taken 0, 2, 3 for training and 1 and 4 for testing. And if I again run this cell, see, if I again run this cell, suppose I should give one value here, that's it. The importance of random state here is it will randomly pick the rows for testing and training, that's it. If I change a value, See, if I change some value here too, it may take the other values for training and the other values for testing. Have you understood the importance of random state? See, మీరు random state ఎందుకు ఇస్తున్నారు అంటే random state మీరు ఏ వాల్యూ అయినా ఇవ్వచ్చు, 42 అనే కాదు, 1 ఇవ్వచ్చు, 100 ఇవ్వచ్చు, ఎంత అయినా ఇవ్వచ్చు. ఒకసారి మీరు random state ఇచ్చి రన్ చేసినప్పుడు ఫస్ట్ అది 0, 1, 2 తీసుకుంది అనుకోండి ట్రైనింగ్ కి, 3, 4 కేం టెస్టింగ్ లీవ్ చేసేసింది. నేనేం చేస్తానంటే random state ఇప్పుడు వేరే ఒక 100 కి మారుస్తాను. అప్పుడు ఏం చేస్తుంది, 3, 4 వాల్యూస్ ట్రైన్ చేసుకుని 0, 1, 2 టెస్టింగ్ కి లీవ్ చేయొచ్చు. అంటే ర్యాండమ్ గా అది ట్రైనింగ్ అండ్ టెస్టింగ్ వాల్యూస్ కి తీసుకుంటుంది అంతే. ఓకే, జనరల్ గా కొన్ని వాల్యూస్ దగ్గర మనకి కరెక్ట్ యాక్యురసీ వస్తుందని జనరల్ గా 42 అలా తీసుకుంటాం అంతే. You can change your random state after finding out the accuracy and check if the accuracy has been changing or not. Okay. See, what is the next step? We have splitted out data to train, test, and split. Now it is our turn to fit our data into our algorithm, right? KNN is our object variable. KNN dot fit of. See what values we should fit here. See, we are having some x, y, x train, x test, y train, and y test. What are the values we should fit here? Tell me. Nothing but fitting means you are giving the values to train your model. Which values we should give to train your model here? Which values you should fit here to train your model? X, okay. Yes, X train. We should give X train and Y train values to train your model. See, we have splitted our data for training and testing, right? To fit your data, nothing but to train your model, we should give training data. We should not give testing data, right? So that is why I am giving here X train comma Y train. Have you understood that why I have given here X train and Y train? See, I have given only the training data to train my model. I am not giving my test data here. Okay? Have you understood this? Please respond. You should respond. Otherwise, I can't continue. Yes, thank you. Okay, let us run this cell now. Yes, we have trained our model. Nothing but we have trained our machine or model with the trained data. Now, what is our turn now? To check if my model is getting, okay, I have trained my model. Now I need to check if my model has trained correctly, or to some extent it has trained or it has not trained correctly. We have to check that, right? To check that, nothing but I want to predict with one data. See, KNN dot predict. See, for which values you should predict? Please tell me now. For which values you should predict? Predict means, see, we have trained our model with some data. If I give any data like sepal length, sepal width, petal length, and petal width, now it should give me the target. See, already it has trained, the model has trained. If I should give some values here, if I give some feature values, it should give me the target. See, that is why we are learning this machine learning, right? See, what are the features we are giving here? Yes, we should give the X test here. With the X test, what are the X test values? Let us see first. Print X test. See, it has printed some values for testing, right? I am checking that feature values. See, these are the values that are left for testing. Okay, let us see the shape here so that we will know how many values that it has sent for testing. See, 45 values it has sent for testing. That means it has preserved for testing. Okay, let us predict with these 45 values. Print, sorry, not print, KNN dot predict of. See, the testing values are present in X test, right? X underscore test. See, for all 45 values, it is predicting like this 1, 0, 2, 1, 1. We can also check for one value. See, we can check for random value. Let us check for one single value here. KNN dot predict of. See, how many values we have taken as features? We have taken some 4 values. See, let us take this row value. For this 5.0, 3.6, 1.4, 0.2, I should get the target as 0, right? 0 means cytosa. Let me give these 4 values. Okay, 5.0, 3.6, 1.4 and 0.2. See, for these feature values, what it should predict? It should predict as setosa flavor with these features. Okay, let me check if it is predicting or not. See, it is giving me as 0. That means it has predicted correctly, or so it has predicted correctly only. Have you understood this? Please tell me up to now. This prediction, have you understood? Yes. See, all the predicted values, I am storing it in a variable called predictions. See, with all the testing values, see, these are the predicted values for all the testing features. I have stored in a variable called prediction. Now let us see the accuracy. Okay, from sklearn dot metrics. See, you can use some in the metrics. You can use some accuracy score. See, accuracy score. See, for this accuracy score, there may be a mathematical formula at the back end, but we need not do all that. Okay, just we should import all these and we will apply. But there is a lot of mathematical calculations that are okay, that there are around this accuracy score or score. Okay, there are some formulas also. See, sklearn.metrics import accuracy underscore score. See, to which we have to find out the accuracy. Can we predict y-test also? See, what is our Karthik? How would you predict y-test? Nothing but if you okay. Wait, after this we will see that point. From sklearn.metrics import accuracy score, print accuracy underscore score of. See, what is the accuracy score means? See, generally in the y-test we have the values. See, generally in the y-test, see, y is for target. Y-test means we are having some target values for testing, right? Y underscore. Actually, these are the values we need to get for testing. And what are the values we have predicted here? See, predictions. Okay. See, actually, what are the values present in the y-test? That are the values that it should predict for this X test. Okay, let us see what is the accuracy between these two. Prediction spelling wrong. Wait. it is accuracy is here 100% it is giving. Have you understood this line? Why I am taking the accuracy between y test and predictions? Please respond, otherwise I will explain again.
Yes, ma'am.
Actual values are these. Our predicted values are these. We are finding out the accuracy between these so that, see, you are getting 100% accuracy. But see, you may get doubt that why should we need apply only KNN here? Why we need not apply the other algorithms, classification algorithm? See, you need to find out that for which algorithm the accuracy is more. See, you can apply the same set of data set to other classification algorithm also. See, there are some other classification algorithms that you are going to learn. Those are the decision tree, logistic regression, right? Okay, you can apply this data set to that classification algorithms also, but to which the accuracy is more, we will select that algorithm. That's it. That comes bit for, okay, which algorithm that you have to select that comes with experience and also that comes with the data that you have selected. Okay, if you practice with more number of data sets, you will be going to know that this data set, for this data set we can apply this type of algorithm, that you will know with practice. And with the accuracy score also, we can come to the decision that we can apply this data. Okay, this algorithm is better for this data set. You can go like that. Okay, this is with the KNN algorithm. As if you have any doubts in this KNN algorithm, you can ask me. But if see in the back end, it will find out the nearest neighbors and it will give you the class here. That's it. In the back end, that is the process that it is doing. But here we are just using all the imported modules and we are just predicting the data. But in the back end, that is a process that it is doing. It will choose all the nearest neighbors, nothing but the nearest characters, and based upon that, it will come to the conclusion that it may be this class or that class. That's it. That is the background process that will apply to the KNN. But KNN can't be used for large data. See, why KNN is a lazy algorithm, we can say. Why lazy algorithm? See, it should find out all the distance or it should compare all to the nearest neighbors, right? See, if you are having some billions of data, nothing but you are having some large data, it should compare to the data, right? It should compare what is the nearest neighbor to this. It may take some time. So that is some disadvantages in this KNN algorithm. For simple data, okay, some simple data or with the rows having less number of rows, the KNN can be applied. Okay, and that is why it is called as some lazy algorithm, that it should compare with all the values and it takes some time. But the smaller data sets, you may apply this KNN algorithm. Okay. Yes. Shall we do the KNN with the other data set? Are you ready? Shall I continue? Please respond. See, now you can observe.
Yes.
See, I am changing my. Okay. I am changing my random state here. I am changing it to 25, and I am again running all these cells. See, if I change any value here, the data which has sent for training and testing will vary. See, if again I have run this cell, the training and testing data will differ. Now let us see what is the accuracy we are getting if I change the random state here. Okay. See, if I change the random state here to 25, it has an accuracy score of 95 only. That means it has learned to this percent only. The model has trained. If you change the value, you may get the other value also. Okay, have you understood now what is the importance of random state here? See, again I have given 42 here and I have changed my nothing but the values again for training and testing are changed here. Now my model has learned up to some accuracy up to 97% only. Have you observed this? Choose 0. Okay, let us choose 0 here.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you getting any error if you choose 0 here?
No, ma'am,
If
no
I choose
error.
0, I'm getting 9. See, 0, 42, 25 is not the value here. There is no importance to that value. Just we should use to one value to random state so that our values for training and testing may change for every value. That's it. See, for one random state, it will take some values. It will for other random state, it will take the other values which has not taken previously. Okay, it will take randomly. That's it. You may place
Madam,
any
random state range is what, ma'am?
range. You can give any range. Please check with any range and tell me. You please check today and tell me. Okay.
Ma'am, instead of
You can check.
numbers, we can give the assign the random state characters also, ma'am.
Wait. Okay, I have given some character called A here. Yes, you are asking this only.
Ma'am.
Have you asked this only? Instead of placing integers, can you place these characters?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, let us see is this syntax correct or not. See what it is saying. A cannot be used to seed a numpy dot random state. Nothing but this random state is a method in NumPy. As NumPy is for numerics, you can't provide strings here. Have you got the point here?
Now it's clear.
Okay. Yes, let us work with the other data set. I will give you the task to you to work with the other data set. Will you do that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, there is another data set called breast cancer data set in your sklearn. From sklearn dot data sets. See, you can take the other data sets also from the website called Kaggle. See, in the Kaggle website, you may having some data sets. Okay. See, diabetes, heart disease. Okay, there are some classification data sets here. Okay, you can choose any data set and you can work with this. Not only the inbuilt data sets. See, you are having some data sets in the website called Kaggle. You can work on that. Okay. Or otherwise,
Ma'am,
yes.
sklearn is what, ma'am?
sklearn is a library that is used to apply all your algorithms, machine learning algorithms. From that only you are applying, right?
Yes, ma'am.
It is a necessity to apply your machine learning algorithms. You are not calculating any calculations here. See, for accuracy or for algorithms, there is a back-end mathematical calculations, but you are not doing anything. Just you are simply importing all the methods or modules present in sklearn, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. See, this is one inbuilt data set called load underscore breast underscore cancer. You can work with that. Yes, tell me.
Ma'am, load and this import types, how we know correct format, ma'am?
This is okay.
If
You are
we want to implement other data sets, how to know correct form?
yes, you can see it in the path. Okay, wait, I will tell you. Print this is not correct. Wait. See, if you see print cancer dot file name. See, actually, this is the path where your data sets are present. Yes, those who have asked me now, this is the path in your system where your inbuilt data sets are present. You can go to this path and see what are the data sets that are present by default, and you can work with that. Okay. So actually, this is the path in your system that where your data sets are present in Anaconda. From this, you can see and you can go. Yes.
Ma'am, I am getting name error.
See, follow the syntax carefully with correct names. You will not get that errors. Okay. Students, that's it for today. What is your task is to work with this breast cancer data set and you should predict. See, it's your choice to select the features and predict. And you should tell me the accuracy that you got in tomorrow's class. And if you have any doubts, you can stay back and ask me. And if you are not having any doubts, you may leave the session after 5 minutes. See, all of you work with this data set and you should tell me the accuracy. What is the accuracy are you getting? See, one person may, from person to person, the accuracy may differ based on your random state or anything. Okay? You should tell me the accuracy score that you got.